What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team, stand up! I carried this year. December is here. We have Lavar just pulled off a miracle in front of our eyes by the myth, the man, the legend, Jimmy Hiro. Now, he low-key did, man, because the man Jello, I heard, went to the Pistons. Actually, congratulations to him. I don't be 1,000 with him. I've never seen one highlight of him. Probably can beat him 1v1, but it's all good. But I'm actually happy for him because I remember, years ago, the situation. People were just really trying to, like, prey on his downfall and all that and shit like that, bro. And I'm just happy to actually see him make the NBA. Like, everybody that was saying shit about him is just, like, quiet now. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing, bro. All three of his sons made the NBA. That's a flex. He can brag about that. It doesn't matter if they average 1 or 30 points per game the rest of their career. It just three. That doesn't just happen. You know what I'm saying? You have to do something. So we're gonna see the miracle and how it all went down, or maybe there's some conspiracy or whatever behind it. We're gonna see what it is. Check it out.
There was a man so genius, so revolutionary that he saw the future before it even happened. That through sheer willpower and confidence in his process, he turned his goals into a reality. What if I told you that LeVar Ball is far more than the obnoxious NBA dad that we can't seem to get rid of? What if I told you that LeVar Ball was actually the puppet master of the entire NBA, calling all of the shots to his favor? Well, maybe I made that last one up. But the fact remains, what LeVar has conjured up out of thin air, all three of his children playing professional basketball, a massively profitable business, and now going on 5 years of fame, or rather infamy, you have to admit, this man seems to be playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Every phase of this family's story appears to be the final chapter. And then you wake up the next morning to find out that the Ball family is in the news again, still surpassing expectations, and the craziest part about all of this is that LeVar called it. I mean, it's borderline prophetic the way the man seemed to predict and manifest every ounce of potential he laid out years ago for himself and his family. He said Lonzo would be drafted by the Lakers. Check. He said that LaMelo playing overseas as opposed to college ball would actually help his draft stock.
And it did.
And he was right.
That was right.
He predicted that LeBron James would come to the Lakers on national television. And that's exactly what happened just a couple weeks later. In fact, if you asked LeVar, I'm sure he'd say his presence and wise words are what brought LeBron to LA in the first place. And LeVar's most impressive prediction just became a reality when LaMelo was drafted to the Charlotte Hornets. Because as far back as he can recall, LeVar Ball has been adamant about all three of his sons playing in the NBA. Lonzo with the Pelicans, LaMelo with the Hornets, and LiAngelo with the Oklahoma City.
Oh, he went to the Thunder?
Well, whatever. Close enough. I'm trying to make a point here. But wait. Rewind the tapes. All the way back to draft night 2017.
I thought he went to the Pistons.
Keep going. Keep going. Right there. Now listen closely.
We got LeVar here, and LeVar, you already got the Lakers hat. I'm trying to tell you, I knew this was happening before it was happening. When did you get this hat made? When he was a baby, but I already knew what was coming to him. I got 2 more boys, I gotta come do the same thing 2 more years. Come see me when he does. I'll have another hat on to say, I told you so.
This man's funny, bro.
Congrats. Thank you.
Okay, so LeVar Ball made another outlandish claim. Nothing new here. Let's all just move on.
I have another hat on to say I told you so.
I'm sick. He did it. The man actually did it.
He said, I told you.
Impeccable flex of epic proportions. Who in the world would follow through to this
That's
extent
a flex. I like
with
that.
a random statement he made 3 years ago?
Bro, because I just realized that they hosted their own draft thing. That sucks how you have to work so hard, bro, and then just because of this year, bro, they didn't host a draft in the actual place and shit. Like, I just realized it was there.
LeVar Ball.
I thought it was the NBA.
The chances of LeVar continually calling his shot is terribly unlikely. In fact, it's unbelievable. Can he see the future? Is he behind the curtains pulling the strings of this intricate web of basketball headlines? No, he's not. Here's
what the hell?
If you make enough predictions about
the
future,
2K days?
Eventually, some of them are going to come true. How does that old saying go? Even a broken clock is right twice a day. Well, LeVar's clock is just a tad off.
Oh, that does make sense. A broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Genius. He's made far more incorrect predictions than he has correct ones. Like when he predicted that the 2018-2019 Lakers would make the playoffs, or when he said that all of his sons would be playing for the Lakers by 2020. Then there's the time when Lavar said the Lakers wouldn't win a title if they traded Lonzo. And then the Lakers traded Lonzo and won a championship. Or what about when he said that he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one? This one hasn't happened yet, but let's all just use some common sense here. Lavar could have just dropped the whole one-on-one claim and move on. But no, the man had to go and double down on the madness and propose a formal one-on-one against MJ at the small price of, are you ready for this? $200 million. LaVar Ball, a man who has never played a second of professional basketball in his life,
Bro, I'll drop him off
play the greatest player ever, but only
That's
if
easy
we
work.
all pitch in and pay $200 million.
Low-key probably would be bad content for him.
Falls under the category of insanity. But what's even more insane
It'll be
is
so
the
quick
theory
of a
that
game.
some fans have created that suggests that LaVar training Melo, pushing him to become an elite basketball player, aiding him in his journey to become a lottery pick, and then strategizing to get LaMelo on the Hornets was all a ploy for LaVar to get to Michael Jordan. The last 3 years all being orchestrated precisely for LaVar to get a shot to play the GOAT one-on-one.
LaVar or Michael Jordan?
Oh, Michael Jordan's listening to the new single that's about to come out soon, man. Oh my gosh. I'm just playing. No, not really. He is jamming.
Yes, they are. Look at you. Who we talking about?
I don't know about y'all, but I would be lying if I said I wouldn't pay good money to watch these two go at it. But once again, LaVar is navigating in treacherous territory. His large claims and even larger personality have gotten himself and his sons into some tough situations. After Lonzo Ball was traded last offseason, news began to circulate that the Lakers front office and staff could not stand LaVar. At one point in Lonzo's time with the Lakers, his father's antics got so bad that the organization began to question if having Lonzo on their team was worth the trouble LaVar was putting them through. Less than 2 months into Lonzo's NBA career, the Lakers even created a LaVar Ball rule in the Staples Center in an effort to stop him from creating more headlines.
What does that mean?
Things were getting ugly real fast. And now that LaMelo is with the Hornets and has Michael Jordan running the show, I can only imagine how this could turn out if LaVar continues to attempt to take the wheel. Organizations across the league communicate often, and if the Hornets take into consideration what other teams have to say about LaVar, LaMelo might be in for a wild ride. But now that we have discussed some of LaVar's shortcomings, I want to talk about the incredible job he's done with navigating his boys to the NBA. In the history of the league, there has only been 20 sets of brothers to ever get drafted as top 30 picks. Lonzo and LaMelo Ball both being drafted higher than any other player on this list. Two brothers being selected as top 3 picks in the NBA draft is such a rare feat that leading up to the 2020 draft, it had never happened before. The next step for both Lonzo and LaMelo is to assert themselves as elite players in the league, because being a top 3 pick comes with extremely high expectations. Working your way up the draft board is one thing, but reaching expectations of becoming a star player that comes with every top 3 pick is an entirely different milestone. And both of these brothers will have to prove their game is just as real as the hype was.
Facts.
And then there's LiAngelo, who gets an unwarranted amount of hate thrown at him because he isn't in the NBA. Or at least not yet, which is just ridiculous.
I thought he just got to the NBA.
LiAngelo is a professional basketball player. He's been signed to the G League, one of the most exclusive basketball leagues in the entire world. In fact, there are about 400 players in the entire G League. Combine that with 400 NBA players,
he signed to the
there
Pistons.
are only 800 players in the entire world associated with
I think he did this video before then. I thought it was recent. That's why I'm like confused.
That's no small feat. Do you know how many up-and-coming players were supposed to be the next big thing? The next LeBron? The next KD? An internet sensation? How often do these stories pan out? I'll give you a hint. Not often. So props to LaVar and his unorthodox leadership, because as much as he stirs the pot, gets on your very last nerve, and calls out entire organizations and star players on national television with little to no warrant, the man has a lot to be proud of. And let's face it, he isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So I don't know about y'all, but I've been all in on the Ball family for years now, and I don't plan on getting off this bandwagon quite yet. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time.
Hey man, as usual man, coming up below, that's right next man on the road to 4